Today's episode of Rambling About is on the Nano CEQ. It is a 4 HP compressor and 3-band equalizer. It sounds like this. Okay, Nano CEQ, so in a recent video where I was talking about playing live and my setup for that, I mentioned how playing on speakers in an actual live space can be really weird and really different from playing in headphones, which I always do. So that put the bug in my ear again about CEQ, which I had been looking at a while ago. So I think I could replace the WMD muscle at the end of my chain with the same size. So basically today I think we're going to throw a whole bunch of things at it to test it out. But we don't have any modulation points. We just have stereo in. It will normalize mono into stereo if you would like, and then stereo out. Okay, so let's start with some drums. I feel like this is the first candidate, I think, of processing individually here. So let's hit play. 3 bands of analog EQ, Stalin key filters. So they are a bit resonant. 6 dB boost to the right. First one is 2500 hertz, 2567 hertz. And it will infinite cut all of these well. And I'll point out I actually was expecting these to be center detented, and they're not. So you are unlikely to go completely colorless for like an A/B test, and that's okay. It's high all the way up. Middle. So the middle band is 256 hertz all the way up to the high band, which is 2567 hertz. I know it's a mouthful. So for boosting it all the way up to 6 dB, you hear those mid-range frequencies. There's going to be a lot of low end in this example, but we'll go in and make a bunch of different examples as we go through it, but I just want to let you hear it. But I just want to let you hear it, so let's sweep through all the way up. And all the way cut. And one of my favorite sounds on most everything is just doing mid scoops for, blast the high end and the low end and scoop the mids. And it just kind of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an adjective. Half the show is thinking of adjectives. It just it sounds tasty. It still has some high end from the, high end band, but a little less brittle from scooping the mids. Let's bring everything back up to noon and then we'll boost the low end. So our low band is 256 hertz below the mid. And we'll boost that up to 6 dB. I do hear a little bit of something. And this very digital kit is going to get a little nasty. And this thing is surprisingly raunchy when it wants to be, and I really appreciate that. I'll show you in a moment with the compressor section, but first let's go back to noon. So everything about at noon, and then we'll cut our lows. So a lot of times on the website it mentions you can use this as a DG filter, so I'm kind of hearing high pass, right? What happens if we boost the high end? Cut the mids? Or maybe we'll just listen to the bands in isolation. That might be a good demonstration. So here's mid. I could drop the bass. No modulation points to do that though, is you gotta come in here and go. I only have one hand. Well, I have two, but I only have one to tweak the knobs with in the setup. I guess I can come over here and do that. So here's the high band only. Notice it's super clean signal. I was kind of looking at this thing, I was like, oh, I always wondered how the noise floor is. If I blast the compressor, is it all going to bleed? But I mean, I don't know if that's because it's analog. It kind of seems to suggest that in the manual, but I'm getting ahead of myself with compression. High band. Middle band. So you're talking through a phone, and I like that. I would love to use this in a set, honestly. The only thing is, how do you bring it back in quickly? I'm not really sure. And then the low band. Like, that's a great way to build up the set, right? I just don't know how do you... I guess you could just go... Other performance tools that could happen at the same time. Okay, on that note, let's bring in the compressor. So I didn't actually know this when I bought it. There's a little level indicator on here, so it can show you you're barely hitting our levels, but once we start to crank up our compressor, you can see our strength. And it says it has like auto-calibrated makeup gain, but it will like become way louder overall, right? And it sounds so good. I was not expecting this from it at all. Like, to get some of that like distortion. Like, are you hearing that? Let's do our mid scoop like I was planning to do, just to tighten up our drums. So you can kind of go from like balancing the dynamics to boosting them. Oh, they say to heavy untamed distortion. Well, I should have read the manual before I bought it, because yeah, that sounds so good. My only concern is in a live setting, do I want to bring my overall volume up if I'm using it at the end of the chain? I don't know. Oh, that sounds so good. Just like, I feel like this example right now you're hearing on the drum bus. Let's try a different pattern just for spicing it up. Right now, this is specifically in my live set, this part where I felt it was really shrill live, and I was like, oh, there's so much high-end frequencies, right? So I've got compression at noon. Just like take off some of the high-end. Yeah, like that's the control I want. I probably don't want to boost the low end that much, but like, just, okay, if it's sounding a little shrill, we'll just come in here, roll off the high ends a little bit. And it sounds a little shrill in the headphones, but live it was like pretty rough. I still like this mid scoop sound. I don't know if I'd want that on my entire mix, but yeah. Distortion again. Yeah. Let's bring that up on my mixer side. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. All right, too much fun. Let's take the compressor back down, and then we'll try synthesizer. So this is the noise I warp. I have my compressor all the way down. I'll turn it up on my mixer side. Here's the high band on that in isolation. Mid. And low. So let's hear that compression when applied to a synth voice. See how much the harmonics are changing, right? I know in part it's because the oscilloscope is being zoomed in a way, but look at the things coming out of that now. Low end boost, middle scoop, high end boost. And we just do middle boost. Bring in our drums on top. Put it down an octave, actually. Yeah. Just the warp. So again, if you're like, I feel like there's not enough low end, there's options here. And the compressor just sounds so good. Like, listen to, okay, if we'll try and normalize it on the mixer side, a comparison that's more direct, no compressor. And then using the compressor, I'll try and normalize the audio as best as I can here, but it's gonna jump a little bit. But just here, like cranking that low end sounds really nice. Bring in our drums. Oh, just that distortion sounds so good. Like real, I don't know, is real even the word? Yeah. I don't know. So, oh, that sounds so good. So on the back of this, I'm no compression expert, but you can use a jumper on the back to sort of change the envelope of the compressors. You can make it a longer or shorter attack and release. I think the default configuration is the best one for me. I'm no expert. In fact, when I was learning about compressors beforehand, I spent way too much time trying to decipher what knee meant. And there's like never a compressor module with a knee control at all. So let's switch over to a different sequence. All right, compressor up. See, again, this one, sounds coming out of the LXR drum right now. I think a lot of the times it has like some pretty shrill upper ends. So it's great with the CEQ. I can just kind of come in here and kind of put the emphasis on the low end, right? Oh, that... Again, I don't have taste, but I love how this just blasting sounds. And I would love to try this out on some real speakers. Next show, I'm looking forward to using it. Here comes that drone again. Alright, let's listen to this jam to play us out. I'm tafony. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.